Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about silent meditations versus guided meditations. So, guided meditations are wonderful, especially if you're just starting out to meditation practices, because they help shift your energy and your thoughts to somewhere specific, and you get guided along the way. So if your mind wanders and slips, you can catch it back and put it to wherever you're intending in that meditation. But silent meditations really allow you the space to see beings, to feel beings, to hear beings. Because if we're constantly being guided somewhere, we're constantly being guided somewhere. They're not necessarily, they can be guided toward us, but they don't necessarily have the same space that a silent meditation gives, because they're trying to fit in between all the pieces. They're trying to fit in between all the talking, all the different stuff that you're doing, whether it's breath work, which is great, or it's a heart coherence exercise where you're focusing on your heart the entire time, which is great and amazing. And do these things beforehand if you feel them, if you love them, that's wonderful. But always take time in the silence with nobody guiding you. If nobody is guiding you and you're your own guide and you're just saying, I am open to receiving, what would you have me hear, feel, see? Then they're going to step into your life and they're going to step into your world in a way where you're more consciously aware of them, because you've paid them the time, you've paid this process the respect in order to be able to receive something back, because they want to talk to you and because they want to give you information, because they already are actually, but there's just not enough space. There's not enough empty presence to be filled with them. If you're constantly hearing words, or even sometimes constantly hearing instrumentals, and those can be wonderful too for the same exact reasoning as silent ones are. But when you're really silent and you're really not guided and you're really open and you're really surrendering and you're really saying, come here, of course you're going to be able to see them in your mind's eye better, in your third eye better. Of course you're going to be able to hear them better, because now your mind isn't distracted with all of these things and all of this process that a guided meditation is taking you along. It's not a hate on a guided meditation. They're amazing and I still do them sometimes. But more and more, I find myself just wanting to get really silent, just feeling, just allowing. And if I want to do a guided meditation during that, if I feel guided to do a guiding meditation during that, I can guide myself, because I know the process, I know the steps, I know the tools, I know what to do. Because say the world were to end tomorrow, our internet, our phones, our electricity, our everything was shut off, you would have to be your own guide, and the guides would have to be your own guide too. But we wouldn't have all this accessibility of phone, we wouldn't have all this accessibility of computer, we wouldn't have all this accessibility of music, of whatever, so on and so forth. So we have to make sure that our vessel is practicing constantly being able to do everything on our own and divinely guided at the same time. We have to prepare ourselves for that kind of thing, not because the world is ending right now, not because we're about to have our internet cut or electricity cut, but because we have to be strong enough to go beyond all of these teachers, all of these guides, all of these words, all of this music, to ourself, truly, ourself with the big S. The more we practice coming to truth with ourselves, the more we practice coming home to ourselves, the stronger and stronger our meditations become, and the stronger our belief in ourselves become, because we're doing it, we're self-made. I say self-made, but I know it's also a co-creation with the divine. So the more we let all of the people, all of the teachers, all of the books, all of the everything out of the way to just get really quiet with ourselves, the more and more and more they come. Just a simple practice, just implementing silence with an intention to be contacted, silence with an intention to receive whatever you're meant to receive in that present moment. The consciousness of allowing, receiving, hearing, feeling, seeing, without any attachment to the results, without saying it needs to look a certain way, because that limits ourselves once again. Just being completely open to the unknown in those present moments that you are in silence or in an instrumental, and allowing your guides to be your guided meditation, allowing your guides, your higher self, to be your guided meditation, self-guided, self-made, self-efficient, individual, and completely in unison with everything. So if you love doing guided meditations and you want to implement this kind of work like 5 minutes out of the day, do it. But make sure you're actually doing it when you're in it. Don't use it as a time to daydream or to let your thoughts go too far. And I know that that's a process. I mean, my thoughts go far sometimes too, and I have to constantly reel myself back in. But making sure you hit that target of silence within yourself and being able to feel them, feeling them around you, feeling them with you, because they already are. It's not, even though, yes, we call them in and we say, come here, and all of that, they're already there. You just granted them access to being able to really contact with you in a stronger way, in a way that's more noticeable to your human perception. So the more that we do this and the more we allow them in, and the more time we implement over time, it doesn't have to be you sitting an hour in silence your first time, your second time, your third time, but the more minutes, the more time you add on of silence, the more chances you get of becoming in contact with those presences. And if you're afraid while you're doing it, you have to make sure during that silence, you're taking your frequency, you're strengthening it by heightening it, by making it more of a frequency of love, and stepping into that and calling forth those beings who are in unison, who are united in love. So that way anything you get, even if you fear it at first, it's just purity. It's just purity. So getting silent and letting you become your guide. Getting silent and raising your frequency to one that matches these beings that you want to be in contact with. If you're thinking positive, if you're feeling positive, you can already be assured that you're in that frequency to contact those higher dimensional beings who want what's best for you, who want love, who know the grand plan, or know a little bit more of it than you presently do in your human incarnation. Feeling a fear of the unknown and being willing to go beyond it by surrendering into it and knowing you're safe. Giving enough time to these practices and really strengthening them, so that way over time more of them come to you, or rather you're more conscious of them coming to you. You're more able to see, hear, feel, think, the thoughts, the sights, the smells, all of that they would have you feel. It's more of a constant communication between two, not just a one-way street. It goes both ways. You receive more. You become more willing to go deeper in your meditations. You get more insights, and the more insights and deeply you're willing to surrender, the more healing comes easily to you. Because you're constantly putting yourself in the state of receivership, you're constantly putting yourself in that state of love, you're constantly putting yourself in that state of surrendering. And when you're in those states and you go so deep and you drop your brain waves down and you say, beings, guides, give me this healing, please, and allow yourself to feel sensations that may be unfamiliar to you, and allow yourself to be healed, and allow yourself to be loved, because you are enough now. It is already what you are. You are already loved when you allow yourself to tap into that and feel that and be that and just live that. They live it through you. They live it through you. But as always, we have to be willing, and we have to surrender, and we have to be willing to get beyond our fears. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe to my channel. I love everything that's higher dimensional being, everything that's God, and everything that's love. So if you do as well, then feel free to subscribe or leave a comment with any questions or give a like or tell me how you feel about it, and I will be happy to answer. So thank you, and I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Bye.